Hey guys, Michael from Fire and Brilliance, and it's been a long time since I made a video, but from popular requests, a lot of people have been asking, what are your thoughts based on lab-grown diamonds versus natural diamonds, because lab-grown diamonds have just blown up. And if you've been following my channel for a long time, we talked about moissanite a lot over the last couple of years. In today's world, moissanite is still popular, but lab-grown diamonds are on fire. So I wanted to do a 2024 edition of this video, which is, why are people still buying natural diamonds? Why are people buying lab-grown diamonds? And I'm going to give you 4 reasons. This is a 4-part series so that you can know exactly why people are still thinking about buying natural diamonds or buying lab-grown diamonds. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to go over a few stats for you here in terms of what some of the information that we found online from a few online sources. Let me go ahead and read this to you here. Okay, overall, the numbers are impressive. In 2016, believe this or not, about $1 billion worth of lab diamonds were sold worldwide, and that's in 2016. Okay. As of 2022, the total sales for lab-grown diamonds was $12 billion. So basically, a 12x in the, let's see here, 6 years. So a 12x in 6 years, which constitutes about 17% of the global diamond market. Okay? And that said, in February of 2023, they're estimated that it not only is it 17% of the diamond engagement rings were sold in the United States, but the world's biggest consumer of natural diamonds use lab-grown gems, according to the industry analyst Idan Golan. By Golan's assessment, it is now 36%. And according to The Knot, if you guys don't know what The Knot is, a shout out here to The Knot. It's basically a website where people leave reviews or people shop, right? For anything related to engagements, weddings, etc. Basically, nearly half of couples married last year, we're talking about 2023, picked a lab-grown stone for the engagement ring. This was reported as of March 12, 2024. So what am I saying here? Lab-grown diamonds are becoming very, very popular, and you may think, well, then why are people still buying natural diamonds, or why are people buying lab-grown diamonds? Let me go ahead and tell you the reasons why. First and foremost, it's extremely popular. Lab-grown diamonds are very, very popular, and the number one reason as to why lab-grown diamonds are so popular is because it is just as beautiful as a natural diamond. There is no difference. I've said this before and I'll say it again. A lab-grown diamond is a diamond. The only difference is it's made in a lab, whereas the other one is mined. Okay, so if you can differentiate your mindset and not care if it's mined or lab-grown, it is one and the same. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's a few ways to explain why it's the same. Well, first of all, it has the same chemical makeup as a natural diamond. It's almost 100% carbon. Why do I say it's almost 100% carbon? Because different elements in a diamond will make it look slightly different. So if you add, for example, boron, it might make it look slightly blue. There are other elements that make it look slightly orange or red. So diamonds can have variations of color, but for the most part, it is made of almost 100% carbon, meaning regardless if it's lab grown or natural, it is a diamond, okay? So there's no difference there. Secondly, it is just as hard as a natural diamond, meaning it's extremely durable. What does that mean? That means it's just as hard. If you weigh it or measure it on the Mohs scale, which measures the hardness of a gemstone, it is a 10 out of 10. There is no other gemstone in the world that is harder than diamond, regardless if it's lab grown or natural. Both are 10 out of 10 on the Mohs scale. So then you say that, it's like, okay, well, what's the difference between a lab grown or a natural? There is no difference. One is lab grown, one is mined. That's the difference. But in terms of the gemstone in itself, it's exactly the same. Thirdly, it visually looks the same. Meaning, if you are to put the same quality of both stones, regardless if it's lab grown or natural, same color, same clarity, same quality, same carat weight, same everything, right? It is exactly the same, visually the same. It sparkles the same. Everything is the same. Even if it's cut the same, it's going to look basically the same. It's a diamond, okay? So it's just as stunning, and it can be set in all types of jewelry. So many times people are worried whether a gemstone can be set on jewelry because some gemstones are too soft, and if the jeweler does not know how to handle it, it may chip, it may potentially break. But for diamonds, it's one of the hardest gemstones in the world. So most jewelers, especially professional jewelers, know how to set a diamond, regardless if it's a lab-grown diamond or a natural diamond, because it's very hard. So you can set on all types of jewelry, from earrings to pendants to necklaces to all types of jewelry, right? And rings, obviously, engagement rings. And that's the reason why it's very, very popular. So the reason why it's extremely popular is, guess what? If you were to buy a lab-grown diamond today, think about this. If you buy a lab-grown diamond today and you take it into your local jeweler, unless they have some kind of expensive equipment to detect a lab-grown, or if you send it into a lab, most professional jewelers, I would say 9 out of 10, if not more, maybe 9.2, 9.5, 9.6 of 10 out of 10 jewelers may not even recognize the difference between a lab-grown diamond versus a natural diamond. That's how much it looks the same, because it is a diamond. And the problem with what a lot of people say today is that they think it's not a diamond because it's lab-grown, but it is a diamond, right? So it's actually just man-made. It doesn't mean it's not a diamond. And that's the reason why it is so popular, because if you buy a lab-grown diamond today, take it to your local jeweler, unless they invest in some kind of expensive equipment or something like that, where they can detect that it's lab-grown, most people with the naked eye, regardless if they're a professional jeweler or not, won't be able to detect it, because it is a diamond at the end of the day. So that's the number one reason why people love lab-grown diamonds, and people are questioning, why are people still buying natural diamonds? Because the beauty is the same. It is a diamond. It's durable. Professional jewelers can't recognize it. So that's the reason why people buy it. Number two, it's the price, right? If you think about it, a lab-grown diamond is a fraction of the price of what a natural diamond is. Let me go ahead and read something to you, okay? According to Business Insider, back then, a man-made diamond was priced at around 10% less than a natural diamond. Today, a lab-grown diamond is about 90% less than a natural diamond, which basically means that you could buy a lab-grown diamond for 1/10 of the price of a natural diamond for the same quality. We're talking about cut, color, carat, and clarity, okay? So, I mean, if you don't care if it's mined or lab-grown, why would you pay 10 times more just so they could call it a natural, when no one even is gonna tell the difference? No one can see the difference, right? So that's the reason why a lot of people are buying it, because of the price. Matter of fact, De Beers, okay, one of the biggest companies that sell not only natural diamonds, they got into the lab-grown diamond business in around 2017. I believe they were one of the first companies to start creating lab-grown diamonds here in the USA. They have their own lab. They started creating their own lab-grown diamonds. As of this year, they decided they're going to get out of the business. And, you know, they had many reasons as to why they're doing it. They said they're going to focus more on the commercial side, more for tools. But I believe the reason why they got out of it is because the margins are not good enough for them to continue to stay in the business anymore. Meaning, maybe it's not as profitable for them to continue to cut lab-grown diamonds here in the US to make a profit, right? So is that a good thing or a bad thing? You should ask yourself that. It might be bad for the business owners, it might be bad for the cutters, it might be bad for the manufacturers, but it's actually a great thing for the person that's buying it. If you are a consumer, if you are the person that's looking to buy a lab-grown diamond or a diamond to get married, to get engaged, or to wear as jewelry, that's great for you because now you get to buy it for so much less. I mean, if I was a person that wanted to buy a lab-grown diamond in 2017 versus today, I would be so happy that I'm able to pick up a lab-grown diamond for a fraction of the price today because it's so much less. Think about it, right? Most people that actually buy diamonds for engagement rings, lab-grown diamonds, is you will get more bang for your buck. Think about it. If you can either upgrade the size for a similar budget or keep the same size and pocket the savings, isn't that a benefit? Right? So in other words, if you wanted to buy a natural diamond at 1 carat, but you could pick up a lab-grown diamond for the same budget at a 4 carat or a 3 carat or somewhere in between, wouldn't you rather have the bigger diamond? And if not, let's just say you want to stick to a 1 carat anyway, then you could just pocket the savings and think about what you could do with the savings. When we're talking about natural diamonds, guys, we're talking about very expensive diamonds. We're talking about the thousands to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But if you buy the lab diamond equivalent, you can save tens of thousands of dollars. What would you do with that money? Just think about it. I mean, most people that do get married, they're typically anywhere between the mid-20s to mid-30s, right? Most of them are, just getting out of college, starting a new life, want to get married, want to start a new life, build a family, potentially buy a home. All of that extra savings that you could pocket, you could finance everything else that you want to do with your life as opposed to just buying a diamond. Yeah, of course, it's nice to wear nice jewelry. Don't get me wrong. I'm not biased against natural or lab grown. Personally, I have both, right? And I do wear both, and I like both, and I love both. The difference is that where are you in your life in terms of what you think is most economical for you? So if you're in a situation in your life where you're just starting off, you barely got out of college, you fell in love, and now you want to get married, start a family, buy a home, sometimes it makes more sense to maybe save on that diamond today. And then maybe, if you wish, you can always buy a natural diamond at a later point in your life where you feel as if you have accomplished certain milestones in your life and then have that extra money to buy the natural diamond. But if you're in a situation right now where you don't have to, that's the reason why lab-grown diamonds are so popular, because it's the same thing. It's the same diamond. It's the same everything. The only difference is lab-grown, and you get to pay a fraction of what a natural diamond is, right? So the third reason why people do pick lab-grown diamonds is because of the environmental impact. Diamond mining can have significant environmental impacts. Number one, the habitat destruction, meaning mining operations often involve clearing large areas of land, which can lead to the destruction of natural habitats for wildlife. This can result in a loss of biodiversity and disruption of local ecosystems. Number two, soil and water pollution. Mining processes can introduce pollutants into the soil and water. For example, chemicals used to the extraction process, such as cyanide or mercury, can contaminate nearby water sources. Number three, erosion and sedimentation. The removal of vegetation and topsoil during mining can lead to increased erosion. This can result in sedimentation in rivers and streams, which can negatively affect aquatic life by smothering habitats and altering water quality. Okay. Number four, energy consumption and carbon footprint. Diamond mining is energy intensive, often involving the use of heavy machinery and transportation. 5, waste management issues. Mining produces large amounts of waste, and at the same time, poor waste management can lead to environmental contamination and long-term ecological damage. All right. So in short, basically, mining for diamonds, natural diamonds, does take a big toll in the natural habitat of where it's currently being mined. Am I saying that building a lab creating lab-grown diamonds does not affect the environment? Of course not. That's not what I'm saying. But if you actually take a look into it, as a quick Google search, you could just go online, do your own research, or depending on wherever you want to do your research, mining diamonds has a greater ecological impact to the environment than that of lab-grown. Because one is controlled, the other, we are negatively impacting a natural environment where habitats live, right? So at the end of the day, is this important to you? To some people, the environmental impact is important. Some people, it might not be as important. So it's just really up to you. But that is also a third reason why many people are choosing lab-grown diamonds. And finally, number 4, natural diamonds are actually not rare. We've been taught or been advertised to for a very long time, since the early 40s, 50s, 60s, that diamonds are rare. But in actuality, diamonds are not rare, and I'll give you a couple of reasons why. What most jewelers will not tell you, because they're either brainwashed or they are holding back the truth, okay? Natural diamonds are often considered rare due to their formation process of geological conditions, but there are reasons why they might not be as rare as what one might think. Number 1, the abundance in Earth's crust. Diamonds are more abundant in Earth's crust than commonly perceived. While high-quality gem-grade diamonds are less common, the total quantity of diamonds, including the industrial-grade stones, is relatively substantial. This abundance of certain geological formation means that large quantities of diamonds can be mined, meaning there's a lot of diamonds on the Earth's crust. Number 2, the discovery of new deposits. Advances in exploration technology and techniques have led to the discovery of new diamond deposits around the world, meaning there are more and more mines being discovered today because of technology. So we're basically uncovering more and more diamonds. Number 3, the increase in production. Over time, improvements in mining technology and methods have made it possible to extract diamonds more efficiently and in larger quantities. Number 4, I think this is the thing that most people should actually pay attention to. It's called recycle and reuse, or in other words, vintage jewelry, or in other words, hand-me-downs, or in other words, the jewelry that your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your parents will hand down to you, or heirlooms. So think about it. If your parents, your great-grandparents, your grandparents, and great-grandparents are buying jewelry after all these generations, and they're not selling it, they're handing it down to you, and you're buying more of it, do you think that's going to be more or less quantity in your possession? So yes, diamonds are not as rare as what we were once perceived for it to be. And that's the reason why many people are starting to realize that they may be overpaying for natural diamonds. They may be overpaying to buy something that is actually not as rare as you think. And think about it. I mean, anything that is rare should be worth more. It's very common sense. It's economy 101. Supply and demand. If there's more of something, the price goes down. If there's less of something, the price goes up. Am I saying there are not rare diamonds? Of course, the larger the diamond, the more rare it is. The more colorful the diamond, the more rare it is. Red diamonds, orange diamonds, etc. But we're talking about the common diamond. They are not as rare as they were once perceived. And because of that, people are saying, why would I spend 10 times more for a natural diamond when I could buy a lab-grown diamond of the same cut, color, clarity, and carat weight, and at the same time save all that money if it's not as rare anyway? So those are the 4 reasons as to why people are buying lab-grown diamonds in 2024, and that is because it has the same beauty, it's a lot less in price, the environmental impact is less, and at the same time, people realize that natural diamonds are not as rare as what they once perceived. So let me know what your thoughts. Leave in the comments below. Again, hit the like button. It helps out this channel. And I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.